All right. I don't really have a name for this yet. This is something I'm gonna do. I'm thinking about doing while drunk. See, I've had a weird life. This is the real me. This isn't Batman McGrath. This is the real guy. Um, like I said, I've had a real life, a real interesting life. Um, and so I was thinking about doing a little thing where I get extremely drunk and just tell a random story from my life. And so this is the story of how me, my mom, and my sister were carjacked by a guy with no legs. Or another way of looking at it, the adventures of me going to play shaq on the Sega Dreamcast. Or not the Sega Genesis. All right. So the year. Let me set the mood. The year is 1994. Pretty sure. The year is 1994. The internet was around. The internet was around, but it really. I lived in a farm out in the country. We didn't have internet. We had local TV, which is like three channels, um and I had a Sega Dreamcast that I got a couple years before this, and so what the current generation doesn't understand is back then we had family nights. We really did, and that's what it was. At least in my family, what it was my mom would get a bug up her ass. I don't know if there was anything going on behind the scenes, but I just remember as a kid, my mom would get a bug up her ass, and she'd be like, "Hey, let's go drive an hour to the nearest something that resembles a city, and rent some movies. You can rent some games." Your sister can get anything she would like to rent, and we'll just have a family night. We'll get some pizzas, and we'll have a family night. And me and my sister were like, fuck yeah! And like I said, at the time, shaq just came out. That's the one specific thing I remember the most out of this whole night is that shaq just came out, and I, for some fucking reason, wanted to play it. So we get into our fucking Subaru something or other, whatever model was fucking 10 years before the 1994. And fucking we drive it. This is in fucking Oregon. Um we're going to the Dalles. We're going from Arlington to the Dalles, which is like an hour drive, just to rent some movies, get some frozen pizzas. So we go there, and it is straight up one of those fucking, where I'm in the back seat. I'm the youngest. My sister is 4 years older than me, and then you got my mom. And it's one of those fucking. We're singing songs. Everything's great. We go to the Blockbuster. I get the. It was one of those times when there wasn't even any copy, and I walked up to the counter and I was like, "Has anybody returned Shaq Fu?" And they were like, "We have one copy that we just got back." And my sister gets some freaking teen movie. I get to rent another movie. I can't even remember what movie I rented because I was so fixed on Shaq Fu. So we get that. We go to the grocery store, get some fucking awesome frozen pizzas. One thing we did in my family is we'd get frozen pizzas, then we'd get extra toppings that we would put on them. Like we'd get the cheapest of the cheap, and then we'd get some extra cheese, some pepperoni, some olives, and just other stuff that we could put on and make awesome pizzas. And so, here's another thing for those people that don't live in one of the states that are like this. Oregon, it is against the law to pump your own gas. I know there's a big thing. People talk shit about Oregonians, but dude, it's fucking awesome, straight up. It's fucking full service. But unfortunately, here's one of the times where it goes bad because my mom's kind of a ditz. So, we're at a gas station, and, excuse me, we're at this gas station, My mom, she just tells the person, yeah, we like full tank gas, and hey, if you could check the oil and everything. Give us the full roundabout. And so the guy does it. He goes in, and uh, he goes away. I can't remember if she just like gave him $20 or gave him $20, and he was just gonna go cash or what. But from my perspective, I'm in the back seat. Now, like I said, at this time, I am 8 years old, and I'm in the back seat. As I said, I was looking forward to play shaqfu. I'm staring at the case, opening it up because occasionally it came to the booklet. Even though the booklet was just press up to jump, press over to walk forward, A is punch, B is kick, or whatever, I still looked at the booklet, studied it. Because again, that's how it was back in the day. Sorry. And out of nowhere, this guy. This guy in a wheelchair with no legs opens the driver's side back seat door. I am on the passenger side of the back seat, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I'm looking at my mom. She doesn't see all this at all. Now, apparently, from her perspective, she just sees a guy's head fiddling with something down there, thinks that the guy's checking the tire pressure, because that is part of the full service. Excuse me 1 second. Oh, yeah. And so, she thinks nothing of it until the car starts rocking a little bit. And then she looks back and sees that there is this guy with the door open trying to do something. So she gets out and she's like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, hey, I need a ride to a bar. You're going to give me one. And then literally flings himself. It was like once he got the grip he needed, he flung himself into the passenger seat willy-nilly. It was like freaking amazing. And my mom, the loving mother that she is, with her two youngest children in the car, worried for their lives, looks at the guy and says, what am I supposed to do with this? And he's like, I'll just throw it in the drunk tank. And my mom's like, okay, I'll do that. In which the drunk tank is the freaking trunk. So she does that, and she figures, I guess, that this is going to be just a quick little thing. He said he just needed a ride up to a fucking, I think he told us he needed a ride home, is what he said at first. But it wasn't home that he was going to. And this is the start of the adventure. So we go from, like I said, we're in the Dalles at this point in time in Oregon. And we go into the mountains. What I guess was supposed to be a quick ride is now turning into a longer ride. So, we're a good 15 minutes in driving, maybe. I'm just going to be paraphrasing time-wise because I can't actually remember. I was fucking 8 years old. I'm fucking 34 now. Fucking give me a break. I just remember this is how it goes down. At first, we're going. Some time has passed, and he's been going on about how he's just gone through a horrible divorce. This guy literally looks like Lieutenant fucking Dan from fucking Forrest Gump, and he's just going on about how he's lost the fucking love of his life. She could suck a dick like you wouldn't believe, and her pussy was so tight. Keep in mind, 8 years old, right next to him, by the way. And a fucking 12-year-old in the front seat, and my mom. Right? There is nothing about this situation that says we are a party group that likes to get down to hear shit like this. But there he is going on about it. And I'll admit, like, even at the time, I knew what sex was. And apparently it was going through all of our minds. This guy with these stubs fucking this chick just riding him, or him standing on his stubs and doing her doggy and whatnot. It was a horrible thought. So a little bit later, a little bit more into the drive, my mom asked him. She's like, so because he's in. When I say Lieutenant Dan, I'm not joking. He's got like military fucking jacket on. He's got the long beard. He looks like he was in Vietnam or fucking some shit. He looked like he has seen some shit. So my mom, like I said, she's just putting two and two together. She asked him, so where did you lose your legs? Did you lose them in the war? And he's all, no. One night I got drunk and fell asleep on the train tracks. Fucking train just lopped him off. I didn't even realize it until I fucking woke up the next day. It was... What? What the fuck? So... so some more time passed. He's fucking going on about all sorts of weird shit. I can't recount a lot of it, but some more time passed, and he ends up telling my mom, lady, I need to piss. And she apparently thinks she's going to have to help him. She's going to have to fucking whip it out for him, fucking aim it, all that shit. And she's just like, look, man, you're a grown adult. You can hold it. Apparently, he can't hold it, and apparently he had a workaround. Again, 8 years old, backseat, right next to him. I am fucking watching this whole thing go down. He whips out this bottle. He puts it down between his legs, unzips his pants, and whips out his wang. Again, child, next to him. And fucking, he goes to pissing. And let me tell you, the guy, even though the bottle's right there or he could put his dick in it, he was still getting splatter everywhere. I could see the little raindrops of fucking drunken Lieutenant Dan P going from the bottle to my fucking pant leg to my sister's 17 magazines all over the motherfucking car. I am hugging the fucking door with my shaqfu fucking game, praying to fucking Shaquille O'Neal himself to come and save me with his magical shaqfu powers. And this guy finishes up and he's like, hey lady, if you don't want to pee all over your car, you might want to stop. And my mom's like, oh, what the fuck? So, she stops, he dumps it out, she fucking starts bitching at him, and we go. It's been an hour into this drive, and we finally get to this motherfucking small podunk town and this bullshit fucking bar. My mom gets out and fucking gets his fucking wheelchair, brings it over to the fucking door, and helps him get out. He puts his arms around the back of her neck so she can help lift him up. Thing is, though, he doesn't let go. And he's like, come on, lady, give me a little kiss. Why don't you come in there and tell him you're my new girl? And show that I'm doing all right. Because I got me a new fine mama and whatnot. And my mom is literally struggling. Motherfucker, she finally literally slams him down into the fucking wheelchair and fucking rolls him in. And the only thing I hear is her yell, he's your fucking problem now. And fucking walks out. And we go home. We drive another hour and a half as the crow flies. We went a different route, but my mom knew where we were going. We drive a good hour and a half. Get back to our place. I go home. I go into my room. My mom watched her in a movie that they picked out together that they could watch while I went and played my game. Shaqfu with Shaquille O'Neal. And it was the worst game I have ever played in my childhood at that time. That was it. So I hope you enjoy this story of mine. I plan on doing more. There's many more of life stories of me and my mom, even some of my other brothers and sisters. I might try and get them to come out and recant their most favorite story of them because yeah. But I'm fucking drunk off my ass. You have fun. And remember to subscribe and like, and yeah, bye bye. Have fun.